Good evening, fellow Fox fans. How are we? Oh, isn't it great when you see Premier League trailers and Premier League, short clips looking back on history? Isn't it good to see Leicester City in there lifting that trophy? We will never forget. But it is Leicester Till I Die TV, and it is the 2021-22 prediction show. Good evening.
Ready? I'm saying, are you ready?
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Well, I'm live, just about. Hangover's gone. FA Cup winners, Community Shield holders. I mean, Community Shield, surely it should be the Championship of England, because we've got two teams there that are playing each other, and I'm just about to make a mess of this. Just bear with me 1 second. You've got the FA Cup holders, and you've also got the... this is going to be fun. Bear with me. You've also got the... as well as the FA Cup holders, you've got the Premier League holders. So with the two of us together, it should be the English Super Cup, shouldn't it? I think so. I definitely think so. So what we've got this evening, well, it's Leicester Till I Die TV. Welcome along. We have got live on YouTube. We're just over 100 away from the 1,000 subscribers. So if you can subscribe, that would be absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. At Leicester Till I Die TV is where you can find us on there. Twitter sphere, at Leicester TID, and Facebook, the group. Leicester Till I Die, of course. So thanks for joining us. Let's just have a look at some comments here. Matthew Bond. Good evening, Matthew. How's the head? Got back all right, I hope. Scott, Leicester Premier League champion. Hey, who'd have said it would have happened before? It could happen again. Jordan, good evening. Where are Liverpool going to finish next year? Basically went from the best team in the world to Premier League also rans within the space of one season. Can they get it back? We'll see, won't we? Scott, you don't want much, do you? Leicester Premier League champions and Europa League champions as well. Well, I'd take that. I'm not going to argue with you. I would definitely take that. Static, good evening. How the devil are you, sir? Thanks for joining us there. Great intro. Thank you very much. YouTube may well take it off later. We shall find out. Yeah, here's you wishing, I think. Here's you. Dan, yeah, I've told you, not in public. Keep it to our private chats, will you? Hello, Munzie. What you saying? Boring? Well, I don't think watching Man United is that bad. Ollie's going to bottle it again, isn't he? But, we shall see. We've got Nick there. I have to be careful when I look at that. Nick, good evening. David, good evening. Andrew, as Harvey would say, oh, what a day. Indeed, Andy. Rob, good evening, sir. How are you? Finally, you're on YouTube. Good evening. Good win and up the Foxes. It was a good win. And Facebook user, good evening, mate. Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well. I'm not sure who you are. If you could give me a clue there, that would help matters. So I can see your name. But basically, what we've got tonight, we have got, if I can get this all set up correctly, we're going to have 15 of the 20 Premier League clubs, fans from each club coming on. Hopefully, if I can get all this set up, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, eh? Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Let's try and get this going. Here we go. You watch, it'll all fall down on me now. So what we oh, I guess I'm glad I started early. Here we go. Right, Stephen says, good evening, big up, mate. See you in a few minutes, Stephen, when you come on, hopefully. Matt says, top half of the season, but we'll win the Europa Cup. Stephen, be back streaming tomorrow. Hopefully you're coming on because I've got a slot for you, and you said you were. Talking about coming on, let's bring our first guest in, and this is James, who is a Wolves fan from Sweet and Sour Soccer.
It is sweet and sour soccer, yes. We're not American, let me just get that out there. It just rolls off the tongue quite nicely. We thought that. We get the usual sweet and sour chicken jokes. Listen, if we can get free chicken, we'll send it you, but we can't. But
just bear with. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun here with my setup. It decided to collapse on me just before we went live.
No problem.
Yeah, you.
I think you've muted there, Chris.
No, I'm back, I think.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, this is all collapsing on me. I'm going to forget that until later and just and have a go. So whereabouts are you based?
Me personally, I actually live abroad. It's Scott that lives in England. I live in Asia. So trying to time our videos isn't always easy. Normally I'm watching Premier League games at 2, 3 in the morning. So as long as Wolves make it worth it and finish as high up as possible, fine. But yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's the thing. How do you feel about Nuno going? It was a bit of a surprise. Did you know he was going to go?
No one knew. This is the one thing you can accredit to Foss and our owners, whether it's people leaving or coming in as a manager, coach, player. In the boardroom. We never know. No one knew that we were going to sign Trincao, a player that you really wanted last summer. I think he had a £40 million bid rejected from Barcelona. We had no idea he was coming. And the same with Nuno. It was dropped as, mutual agreement, but the general consensus is that he was kind of pushed. I was one of Nuno's biggest fans. You could say the biggest fan of Nuno. I would have given him so much more time. In the modern day, you can have 3 great seasons, 1 average season, and then be deemed not good enough. It's crazy.
Crazy. If Stephen is still watching, mate, I've got you down for a slot. So if you can't come on, I've suddenly got a hole in the show. So if you can come on, Stephen, otherwise we'll think you're an Arsenal fan bottling it. Not that any Arsenal fans bottle it, of course. 1-0 Spurs. So yeah. Don't let me down 5 minutes before you're due to come on, Stephen.
I was just going to say, congratulations to Leicester. You started the season as you mean to go on.
Well, what can I say? It's not kicked off yet, and we've already got a trophy. Yeah, I think James Maddison has actually got more trophies himself than Arsenal have in the last 12 months. I guess that's kind of why they want him.
Yeah. To be honest, I know there's a lot of Leicester fans that are 50-50. Maybe more would rather him stay. But if you do get that 60-70 million pounds compared to what you paid for, that's a great deal.
If he goes, he goes. Don't get me wrong. but he goes on our terms. He
Absolutely,
goes
that's how it's to
and it's not a case. What annoys Leicester with the Arsenal fans, and sorry just to quickly talk about Arsenal, is the fact that they think that we are going to, that it's Leicester and their Arsenal and players should just want to go to Arsenal. Why?
Those days are gone.
Yes, yeah, but anyway, I've got your link in the chat below in YouTube, but just give it a shout out anyway. Your other half's come on here, and
My other half,
yeah.
Although,
I'm a bit worried about your James, get the dog in the video. I miss your other half. That's not very nice, is it? Dan,
for those that don't know, my dog isn't my other half, as in girlfriend. But yeah, Scott does like to drop that comment. Listen, I'll get him back. But no, I do bring my dog on the stream just to it just gets a few more views, you see, a few more subs. It's that sympathy vote. Do you know what I mean?
You're going for the animal lovers, aren't
animal
you?
lovers, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
our content isn't good enough. We need the dogs.
That's where I'm going to go wrong. Stephen's just saying here, Chris, I don't think that Chris is a gooner, that. I don't know what you're on about. Come on and talk to us, Stephen. 5 minutes. That's all you got to come on for. Almost as long as Arsenal will stay in front this season. Right, so Wolverhampton Wanderers. Last season, bit disappointing for you. 13th place.
Yeah. 13th or 14th, I believe. Probably maybe 13th.
You were 13th, I think, last season. Yeah,
13th. It wasn't the season. It was Jimenez's injury. It came out obviously out of the blue. It wasn't something that like a Harry Kane ankle injury where you could expect it at any time. It just happened, and back in November, I think it was a player that a lot of neutral fans like. Johnny, our best left back, had another ACL. He's been so unlucky. So, yeah, it wasn't the best season. And I don't predict a much better season this year, I must be honest.
Well, you actually finished under Newcastle. I mean, to me, that would be a bad season.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been saying this, as much as people take the mick out of Steve Bruce and have a laugh at their expense on their squad and the depth. I mean, they finished above us, and just because we had 3 or 4 injuries, Bowley was out as well. We shouldn't be finishing below this Newcastle side.
Just be careful what you're saying, because we've got a Newcastle fan up next. So
listen, they deserved it. But I
tell you what, I watch him and I wouldn't argue with him.
I'll keep that in mind.
So where are you going to put Wolves next season?
Well, from the constraints that you've got there, I would say between 13th and 16th, and I know you've got in between 11 and 15.
There's always one awkward one, and it's the first one.
I know, it's always the Wolves fans. I know. I would say between 11 and 15th. I'm not just saying this. I truly believe we are in for not a relegation battle. It's just going to be a long, boring season. I'd say 14th, 13th.
Well, I'd like to say it's great to see you back in the Premier League, but it's not, because I don't like Wolves.
Oh, really?
Nothing personal, but it goes back to Mark McGee. But just quickly give your station a shout, your channel a shout out.
So yeah, very quickly, we are a general channel. If you head over to us, I'm sure there'll be loads of content that you enjoy. We don't just try to look at the top 3 or 4 teams in the Premier League. We try and give all clubs a fair crack at the whip doing our content. We've also got a fantasy Premier League, and we've got over 100 people there. First place is £100, second place is 50, third place is 25, and that will increase over the season as our subs do. Free to enter, just sub and get involved.
So is that your transfer budget, is it?
To be honest, the way it's going, it may as well be. I think me and Scott have invested more in this channel this summer than the Wolves have. So, yeah.
Brilliant,
Sad
mate,
noise.
brilliant. Well, thanks very much for coming on. Good luck for
My
the rest of
pleasure.
the season, all joking aside, and we'll see. We'll revisit it at the end of the season.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Thank you. And let's welcome Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Good. Not so bad. A bit happier now. Looks like we're going to get Willock.
Yes. He one less that they've got to offer us for Madison because he was part of a deal that.
Well, yeah, that's what we were worried about, whether he was going to go the other way and do a swap with Madison. But hopefully, we're relying on Lee Charnley now to do his business with the personal terms. So it's not guaranteed yet.
Never is, all these things, are they? That's the trouble. And
No.
I have to be honest with you. I mean, he had a great season for you. Probably your player of the season last season.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Without a doubt.
And he's probably all joke. I mean, we had banter as I was early on with Steve, the Arsenal fan, but it's probably the one of the two players that I would have said, yeah, stick him in. Because like I said, if he goes, he goes. It's just a case of coming up with the right money. But but when I look at it last season, and of course, it hurts me to remember the fact that you beat us towards the end of the season. We were on each other's show just before that game.
Yeah, we were, yeah.
You were predicting 4 and 5-0 to Leicester. I mean, where the hell did that performance come from?
No idea. Absolutely no idea. It's just one of them things. I mean, the end of the season last year, I think, Willock without a doubt transformed our midfield, gave us a much better attacking option. Somebody who would be box to box, which we needed. We needed that box to box midfielder. He did that, and obviously he scored 8 in 8. We couldn't have asked for any more from him. Watching us in pre-season, we struggled again. So he will definitely give a boost to not just the players but the fans as well.
Well, good luck for the coming season. And I mean, I'm one of those that I like the small clubs that do well. Like when Sheffield United came up and they had their first great season, and it's nice to see bigger clubs, because I don't think of Leicester as a bigger club, but it's nice to see the bigger clubs struggle. That said, as fans and what you go through as fans, and I look at and no disrespect to the Arsenal fans, but I look at what they're moaning about, and it's been one season for them. You've had this and your owner for I don't know how long, but
15 years.
Is it 15?
15 years. Yeah.
God, is it?
Yeah. It's horrific.
And what's happening now? Because apparently somebody there is wanting to buy you and they can't, or
it's all to do with the Saudis. Arbitration was supposed to happen, which would basically see if there was any separation between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and PIF, which was one of the worries that apparently the Premier League had, and then the CAT case, which is the competition case. So that's. The arbitration has been put back till January, February time. The CAT case is on hold again till probably September, possibly onwards. And I think a lot of Newcastle fans now have just given up on the takeover, mate, to be honest. I think there was a lot of hope again when Amanda Staveley came on Sky News and things, Sky Sports News and Talk Sport, all that kind of stuff. And then obviously since everything's been put back, it's back to sort of a long dark tunnel, unfortunately, which we've got no choice but to continue along.
Well, Willock, as I say, is joining you. I mean, Dan here at Turf Moor House, Willock was the reason for Newcastle's late climb. Still annoyed at us losing 2-1 at Turf Moor last season in the latter stages. If you'd had that run throughout the season, who knows? Who knows?
Well, I mean, the game at Turf Moor, I remember it, we were awful. Burnley led 1-0, and then with just a 10-minute spell, we came alive through St. Maximin, and then obviously we got the 2 goals. But that was the kind of case last season. We were very, very lucky to get some of the points. Not so much when the back end of the season, but early doors, we gained some points that we really shouldn't have and didn't deserve. So we were very, very lucky in that texture. But it's going to be the same old for us this season. I can't see anything else but the same kind of football under Bruce.
Yeah. I have a feeling that this might irk you a little bit. Question for the Newcastle fan: how did you get on against York City? I don't know, in fairness, so I'm not going to go there. We'll just leave it at that.
No, it's fine. I don't mind that. York City were in the Conference North, which is about 7 leagues below us, and they beat us 1-0. And we had a very, very strong side out. Callum Wilson was playing, St. Maximin was playing. But that's what I mean. Steve Bruce is going with his 5 at the back again, which he's sticking to. He hasn't wandered from that at all in pre-season, and that's how he's sticking. And I just think Premier Division sides with a bit of pace will rip us apart in this season.
Well, all I can say is, Scott, and he's one of my mods in here, don't forget Burton and don't forget Wycombe Wanderers. We haven't got anything to say.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least we've got a trophy. That's the main thing. And I may say that about 20 times as we go through this evening. But
You're
let's have
perfectly
a look.
entitled to. We would do the same if we were in that situation.
Hey, I tell you what, when it's a club like Newcastle or Leicester, I'll say certainly for Leicester, who and Newcastle, we've not won anything. We're not one of the big 6, and when you do actually win something, you make the most of it, don't you?
Yeah.
And do it.
I mean, Leicester are the club that we as Newcastle fans look at and say, look what can be done with a bit of investment and a bit of ambition. That's what you can achieve. You don't have to have the world's greatest players. If you play as a team like Leicester City do, and we look at them, we look at the likes of Villa, who have ambition, who are signing players. I know they've got rid of Grealish, but last season they had ambition. We don't have any of that, and that's what we really want. Is something is a team like Leicester City to look upon and say, right, that's what you can actually do with a bit of belief and investment.
Well, we'll help you out if you want. We'll let you have Perez back.
No, I'm not. We've got rid of the receipt for him, so he ain't coming back. That's a certainty.
No returns. That's what
to be fair, he did well for us when he was up front with Rondon under Rafa. He seemed to get the front 3 there seemed to combine really well, and we did all right. But Perez was very hit and miss, which I believe he's just doing the same for you guys.
Yeah. Anyway, Scott says, sorry, he had to mention that his brother-in-law is a Newcastle fan. But so where do we think, or where do you think, more importantly, Newcastle are going to finish next season? Obviously, 12th last season, which probably belied, more than the troubles you were in. It probably sort of papered over the cracks a little bit.
It did, without a doubt. I mean, some of the teams fell away as well. So, I mean, my show tonight later on, we've got our Premier League predictions, and I've actually got us 17th.
Right. Wow.
As it stands, obviously we could make a couple of more signings before the season starts. But they're just going to be loan deals. I don't think he's going to spend any more money with Willer costing 25 mil. So I've got us 17th, just above Burnley, Watford, and Norwich.
Controversial.
Well, we played Norwich on Saturday, and I know they've had COVID problems, but they really didn't look very good at all. And Burnley, I mean, don't get me wrong, Burnley I've got a little soft spot for already because I really admire what Sean Dyche has done. And they're a good bunch down in Burnley. They've got some really good fans, and I just think it might catch up on them eventually, the lack of signings that they seem to bring in. But I think it will be an almighty struggle. I really do. I think the bottom of the league is going to be a bit more exciting than the top this season.
Well, I hope so, and hopefully we're going to be in the mix with that a little bit.
I've got you guys 5th, so
the funny thing is, and everybody keeps saying like, we're bottlers if we finish 5th and for a third year, but I'll take that. 5th.
A team like Leicester City continually finishing 4th, 5th, 6th. I mean, God, we'd snap your hand off as Newcastle fans to do that every season. You know what I mean? I think that's something to be damn proud of for where you've actually come from, and that's what we aspire to. You know what I mean? If we finished around those positions,
I mean, is there anything? And Rob asked the question there: are you still calling for Steve Bruce to be sacked? And I think I know the answer to that. But is there anything he could do? I mean, you were 12th last year, and I say it did probably not tell the full story, but. If he was to get you sort of top half, 8th, 9th, 10th, I have a feeling you still wouldn't like him.
It's a hard one because Steve Bruce is one of the most stubborn managers I've ever known. He spoke very derogatorily about the fans last season behind when he knew they couldn't go into the ground. He was bitching on a lot in press conferences and things like that. And the games I've been to so far in pre-season, yes, there's been supporters asking for shouting for him to be sacked. So yes, but if he took the shackles off some of our forward players and played a bit more attacking, I think we'd be all right. But he's not the man to take us forward.
No. Well, give your channel a quick shout out, Paul, before you go. Again, the link's in the description, but give it a shout out.
It's the Toon Review. Obviously, talk about a lot about Newcastle, but this season I've got non-league shows, EFL shows coming up as well. So I also do a fantasy league. So I'll be doing a show on that every Thursday as well. So there's plenty on there. It's not just a Newcastle channel. I like to involve a lot of different football on there. And then, of course, I've got the Four Horsemen every Monday night at 8 o'clock, which is slightly very close to the Bone football show, but it's quite popular.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
Mate, good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you too.
You stay up and take care. Cheers, Paul.
Thank See you later. Bye.
Bye. Stephen, thank you so much for coming on. Before we start, I want to give a shout out to Stephen because he does a charity. His channel is very much for charity. It's a great charity. It's the Children's Liver Foundation. Is that correct?
Children's Liver Disease Foundation.
Give it a shout out because before we start, because you need to go on, guys, support this channel, make donations. It's a fantastic. It's not just Arsenal. It is. It covers everything. And we won't go there, Stephen. But you cover Formula One as well. It is a brilliant channel, and you deserve all the support you get. And you're up for, you're in for an award. So tell us about it all.
Well, I mean, I after having liver disease myself and having 6 transplants, liver transplants, it's my way of sort of giving back to the charity because without the research and respite, I wouldn't be here today. So, so we knuckled. I originally just came to awareness, but now it's sort of built up from little few videos and just me talking nonsense for God to back no one, and now a monetized channel, and it can't be without everyone tuning in, supporting, and like I say, like. Anything we get from now is obviously a bonus from now on. But obviously, if people want to come, subscribe, join the banter, you could DM me to come on shows. Anyone could come on a show and have their opinion. It's more, like I say, it's more about football than just Arsenal. I mean, I'm a gooner, but
you even have me on, so that says something.
I know, even though you do wind me up. But like I said, if you're an F1 fan, you can tune in as well. We've got plenty of people who want to come onto the F1 stuff now. And it's, we just all have a good laugh whilst talking about football and raising money for charity, which is the main thing. And that's what we strive to do. How can they find you, mate? They can find me, like I said, on SFeetly TV. And you can find me at SFeetly on my Twitter handle, personal Twitter handle, if you want to get on a show. And all I can say is just keep subscribing. We've got the memberships as well. It's like a monthly donation that you'd find on a peel on a TV ad or something. Which you can do, like get so many perks for a minimal amount of money to charity every month, and also just get
over there and give it a support, guys, because it is for a fantastic cause. And Steve, I do give him banter being an Arsenal fan, and I tell you what, he takes it and he gives it back. And if you do sign Maddison, we'll have nothing to banter about. That's the thing. That is like, it's like this. I feel might be going on just as long as Sancho to Man United, but hopefully not. But
Arsenal, they're linked with maybe Tom, Dick, and Harry, aren't they?
Well, isn't every club at this time of year? And I mean, all joking aside, we don't want to lose him because we don't want to lose any of our big players. But we know, if the offer's right, he's going to go. So you just got to come in. With the right offer.
That's the thing. So, I mean, we got to come in with the right offer, and we haven't got the status that we once had. That's long gone, and it's perfectly accept. Leicester at the minute are the better team. They are the better team and the better run club. They're not bigger, but they're the better run club. And
Yes.
In that case, if Madison's looking at that, he said, why would I sacrifice Europa League football and maybe even a chance to get top 4, especially if you just won an FA Cup and Community Shield, to then go to a club that, I mean, you look at us with our seasons unprepared. We've got no other deals coming through. Players are on last year contracts, and it's actually getting worse rather than it's getting better.
This is why I like you, Stephen. You see, an Arsenal fan who's realistic. That is,
if you're not being realistic about things, you might as well just not bother being on it, mate. And I mean, I see that, like, even yesterday, like, some Arsenal fans coming on and saying, "Oh, Tottenham's a friendly." If you think Tottenham's a friendly, stop supporting Arsenal right now, right? Because you're not an Arsenal fan, in my opinion, right? It's like asking a Liverpool fan or a Man United fan that Liverpool or Man United is a friendly.
Don't ask Liverpool fans anything.
I don't care if it's the under 12s. I want to beat Tottenham. Don't care.
It was like Saturday. We said if we lose, it's just a pre-season friendly, but if we win, it's a major English trophy. We're going to say hello to Doug. We're going to bring him, talk to him in a second about Liverpool. But where realistically, I think I know where I would put Arsenal. First of all, where would you put 8th last season? We know it was a disappointment. You know, you made a few signings. You're still after a few signings. There was an Arsenal fan last season who did a big rant, and he had another rant this season wanting everybody out. But where are you going to put Arsenal finishing next season?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, don't ask every other Arsenal fan rants about everyone in the club. But, I'm getting to the point of past ranting, to be honest. I mean, you even said, like, I didn't even watch the Tottenham game. Now, that is a game I watched.
Yes.
No matter what it is. I was more interested in going to Manchester, right, and having a break.
Yes.
There you go.
Which you deserve. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. What I sat there in the end, and I watched it and watched it back, and we don't look prepared at all. We look like a shambles. Right? People trying to dress it up like, anyway, you could dress it up any way you want, right? You could put a plaster on it, but mate, like, the wound's still open, and we ain't closing them. Simple as that, right? But my wounds are more closed up than they are, right? And they ain't fully healed yet. I mean, fuck's sake. And I'm getting to a point that, like, the people say if I say below 10th, I'm being negative. If I'm big up Antbro, I watched that stream. It was a really good show video, by the way. If I say we're going to finish 5th or 6th, go for it, I'm being deluded. So I'm either way. What I'm going to come out with, I'm going to be wrong. So
of course, I mean, I doubt when we get to the end of the season, most of us will have got it wrong.
To be honest, I honestly see the way we are at the minute, the way we're run, and the way what it looks like. If you ask me now, before we're looking at it, no, I'm not that bad. If you look at it now, in the situation now, we don't make top 10. I can look at 10 clubs that are more prepared than us.
So do you think you're going to go 7th to 10th then?
Well, that first game, do you honestly feel confident that Arsenal are going to win that first game, the season opener?
If you don't, and it's against Brentford, then that would be a worry. I think you'll finish between 7th and 10th, to be honest with you. And I know it's not great news. But
I'm looking at the whole pre-season, mate. Aubameyang's not scored it all season, all pre-season. We've conceded in every game. We played Millwall and Watford, for God's sake, in our own back garden, right? In our own practice garden, right? There's no other signings. There's no backup goalkeepers. Once Leonard gets injured, right? There's no new right back. There's no partner with Partey. If people say Lukonga's going to do the job, bullshit. Right? I'm sorry, he's not. He's 21. You can't expect him just to walk in and just turn up. I'm sorry. So and we haven't got someone to cover
I'm
Smith Rowe.
going to have to move you on, Steve, because we've got Doug waiting there.
Man.
And I know we'll still be in an hour and a half if we try and sort.
Yeah, I know. I could go in here for an hour and a half.
I do appreciate you coming on. And like I say, as Arsenal fans go, you're very honest and realistic. So is 7th or 10th? Do you think that's where you're going to be? You're popping yourself in.
10th. That's what
10th,
I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
7 to 10th.
I honestly say we could finish lower than that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to get involved with this. I'm going to be quite sort of neutral tonight, and I'm biting my tongue so much that it's like twice the size as it should be.
Go for it. I don't care.
Steve, mate, I appreciate you tired.
You say that I can't say myself.
No, mate. Hey, no, Stephen, thanks so much for coming on. I know you've been tired and you've come back. Really do appreciate it, mate. And seriously, apart from I say to everybody, apart from when you play Leicester, good luck for the season.
Yeah, good luck for the rest of the season.
Mate,
you'll probably get his split once, but see you later.
And no Maddison. Cheers, mate. Doug, thank you so much. Thanks for waiting.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm Stephen still there. Everybody's coming and going. I'm all right. Sorry for the wait there.
No, that's all right.
Don't stop an Arsenal fan mid-rant.
Congratulations for Sunday, by the way. For Saturday, sorry, I should say.
Saturday. Thank you very much. No, it carried on to Sunday. I tell you, hey, like I said, all joking apart, it is. Had we lost, it would have been a pre-season friendly. I know when we lost to Man United in 2016, it was it's only the Charity Shield, blah blah blah. But so you win it, and it is a major English trophy. The way I look at it is, and I can understand Pep. He didn't put a good team out, but at the end of the day, it's the boost that you need just before pre-season.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's 19 other teams that would have wanted to be in our place, so there we go. But anyway, so we're going to move on from Arsenal and talk Liverpool. But before we start, give your channels a big shout out, mate.
Yeah, my channel is the Dugout Football channel on YouTube. My Instagram is douglas.horn. My Twitter is at enrod_1992. It should be on the screen there. I don't know if you can see it.
It isn't because I've got them up at the moment. So.
Aye, and you can get me on Facebook at Douglas James Horn.
Yeah. All the links to everybody's YouTubes are in the description below on YouTube, guys. So, Scott saying here, Liverpool top 4, but think third. I mean, and without sort of being horrible here, because everybody's been having a bit of a go at Leicester for bottling it for the last 2 seasons. But Liverpool went from winning everything it possibly could to almost Premier League also runs within the space of 1 season. And, you can't really just put that down to one injury, can you?
No, absolutely not. You look at last season. The goals definitely dried up. We only scored 65 goals last season, which is very, very low. I think obviously compared to like 1920, I think we scored 83 goals. I think it was. Yeah. So obviously the goals have definitely dried up. Mohamed Salah was bailing out Mane and Firmino last season as well. Look, nobody would want 22 centre-back partnerships. That is just absolutely crazy. So to even suggest that it was down to the injuries, look, we had a lack of goals. We had a lack of firing threat. Really, like, Salah can't do it on his own. And it was just like having key players like Jordan Henderson and Fabinho at the back. But hopefully Brendan Konate is actually sort of steadied that ship that we've. Well, hopefully we don't get any more injuries. Obviously Robertson's been pictured in a plastic boot today as well. So that doesn't look good. So we've had a good pre-season, but one signing is a bit worrying. But if we can get a couple of more bodies in, I think we'll be ready for the season.
So, what sort of season are you going to have? Whereabouts are you going to finish?
I think we'll be top 4. I think we'll definitely be top 4. I think it's going to be either second or third, if I'm being honest. I think if we could, I mean, like with the fact that we were 8th with about 13 games to go last season, I do think we can do it. I've got a second. I just think with us having all the defenders back, Van Dijk, Matip, Kanate, Gomez, etc. You've obviously got Williams and you've got Phillips, but I think one of them is probably going to move on in the summer. And then obviously you've got your midfield 3, Fabinho in defensive midfield. I keep saying this; it's so important. Because last season he was in defence, and we kind of lost that stability in midfield. So I think having Fabinho in defensive midfield was so important. And yeah, I do. I think it will be a season where we'll definitely try to challenge. I don't think we're good enough to win it. But if we can challenge City, that's all I want. That's all I want to do. That's all I want. I want to challenge City. Don't want to be so far behind. I think we'll do well in the Champions League as well. Cups, Klopp doesn't give a monkeys about the cups anyway. But I do want us to have a go at the cups. I think we are in for a good season, but only time will tell.
Brilliant. Been asked here by Rob what Kabak's like, because we've been linked very heavily with him. I'm a little bit worried very quickly because you didn't want to keep him. You didn't want to sign him permanently. You don't even seem to want him on a free if he's going to be available. Is it that bad?
Look, one thing I will say about Ozan Kabak, he came in at a time where we were really desperate for centre-backs. He did a good job. He obviously his first game was against Leicester, and he did make the mistake that obviously caused us to lose that game. But what I will say, he actually stepped up last season. I think he's a good centre-back. He's not experienced enough, but I think with having his Turkish teammate Soyuncu beside him, I think that will be good for him. Just unfortunate, he's not going to be 5th choice at Liverpool, and I don't think he's going to be that. I think the reason we didn't sign him because we got Kanate. I think if we didn't get Kanate, I think we probably get Kabak.
Brilliant. Well, top 4, hopefully good luck for it, as long as you don't knock us out again in getting it. And I've got to say, you impeccable taste picking Leicester's shirt as the best shirt next season. I totally 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think Adidas have done a very good job. I know there's a few people that don't like it, but I honestly think it's the best home shirt in the Premier League so far.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't argue with you. Thanks very much, mate. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for coming on.
No problem, Chris. Take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Thanks to Doug there. He's put in Liverpool top 4. Now, this is going to be interesting. It's the Battle of the Northwest here. We've got Burnley and Manchester United.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing, Chris? You all right?
Not so bad, thanks very much. Yep, thank you both. Let's come to you first, Dan, who doesn't have the most nicely designed shirt for next season. Last season, Burnley only just managed to stay up. And you finished 15th, 17th, I should say. Sorry, you could be losing Tarkowski to us. Made a signing. What is it looking for you?
Well, as you can see from the video that you came on, you were commenting on our channel, that you were saying about, I predicted us 13th, and there was a part of me that still firmly believes that. If we can, there's 3 weeks left of the window, I'll take 13th happily. But if I was basing it on now, while the facts are there, we're being linked with all sorts. David Brooks at Bournemouth, some random Brazilian. I mean, who knew Sean Dyche loved a Brazilian? I mean, that's one. That's a pre-watershed comment right there.
I'm going to say, thanks, Dan. I'm going to do my best to keep it clean tonight. I'm on my best behaviour, as Talk would say.
But yeah, it's gonna be strange at the moment. I do have my doubts on this year. If things do stay as they are, I could see us going down but I don't know. I'm very sceptical at the moment. I think I'd put us, due to the undecidedness, I would put us in the 16th to 17th, Chris.
Right.
Just
honestly,
because
that's what I like. You know,
just because obviously,
just super
yeah, exactly,
Dan. Yes.
exactly. You know, Daniel Morehouse is the name. I've got the same initials as Danger Mouse, so why not? But yeah, as I say, 13th would be great for us. It's a solid position, but as I say, as things stand, it doesn't look great. Nathan Collins, okay, it's a 12 million signing, which is 11.25 million than we spent last season. And Wayne Hennessy, who's going to be brilliant cover for Nick Pope, in my opinion. So yeah, all in all, not really much to brag about. Fingers crossed, a decent right winger will come in. But yeah, when you look at it, we got rid of Robbie Brady on a free. A few others have gone. You know, a few youth players like Jimmy Dunn and Josh Benson's gone to Barnsley, and
yeah,
we've lost a few players, and we've not really replaced anybody. Yet again, I'm still waiting for us to spend the 30 million we got from Michael Keane. God knows how many seasons ago. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen? This is Burnley. We always do something in the season. We always manage to stay up just, but
yeah,
I've got my doubts.
Rob says, "What's her name, Dan?" I think that was when he was referring to the Brazilian. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I might ask her next time. I only went for my back done.
Crack back and sack, eh?
That's next week.
Ginger. I'm not sure that's a nice thought. But, hey, quickly give your channel a shout out there, Dan.
Yeah, so obviously we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and obviously YouTube under at Turfmoor House. So yeah, please do just head on over. We are on Spotify as well. If you think I've got a face for radio, so do head on over there. I do. Cheers, pal. But yeah, I need to do a bit more with Spotify. I've sort of left it in the lurch since getting it sorted, so I do need to crack on, as you do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season. And again, as people have been saying, Chris, congratulations on the Community Shield.
Cheers, mate. It's the only reason I'm doing this tonight, so everybody can say congratulations to me. Seriously, I won't let people forget it while the season goes on, as you know me well. Mate, good luck for the rest of the season. You know I've got a soft spot for Burnley, so I do hope you stay up, and we will speak, no doubt, very, very soon.
We will. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, mate. All the best. Take care.
No worries. See you later. Talk. Bye, Chris.
This is the one I'm worried about here. Peter K, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I like bread. Yeah, I like bread.
And if you have a look there, look, just for you. Look, I'm going to put it first.
Oh, mate, I could just eat that now. I'm starving.
You know, every time we talk about it, I love garlic bread, and I love cheesy garlic bread.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to stop talking about it, but you'll have to leave your fridge open.
Oh, mate,
because the actress said to the Archbishop.
Yeah. Has he made it right? Mess of her best going out pants.
Exactly.
Go on.
That's it. We've got Tottenham coming up in a second. We've got Everton coming up in a second as well. There in the waiting in the green room. So talk Man United.
Yeah.
Big money's being spent. Jordan Sancho, the longest transfer saga in history, is finally over. Are you going to actually, is Ollie not going to bottle it this season?
Well, you know what? I think, to be fair, we've been on a steady progression, and for me, with the players that we've brought in, I think he manages those players correctly and the squad correctly. I'm putting us right up there with a shout of winning the league, and I don't see why not. I mean, the only way I can see Ollie failing is if there's a total catastrophe, because we've got the momentum, we've got the team spirit, he's got the dressing room on side. We're changing up now to some, a 4-3-3 in a kind of fashion. He may well decide to switch the system up, depending on who we're playing, to accommodate the lack of number 6. And so, for me, I think we've got a really, really good shout. And, we come out of this game with the 3 points on against Leeds. We get that first 3 points on the board. Then we've got to just keep looking forward rather than behind us, because that means everybody else can only be neck and neck with us. You know,
I mean, you know, you come second. Last season you were top 4 again at our expense, but this is surely the year. And I know he's been given a new 3-year contract, but if he doesn't win something this season, and I know we banter about, you know, managers bottling it and what have you, but, you know, in all fairness, this is Man United. He has, you know, probably for the first time in many years, got a settled team now, you know, got, like you say, the dressing room on side, but, you know, he's got to start winning something. You know, he's had a few semis. He's been, if you pardon the expression, he's been in the final, which probably gave him another one. But you know, he's got to win something.
Well, I agree with you, and I think that the plus side of that is that the players themselves will understand that. So will Ollie. So this time round, you know, we're not going to go easy on teams where we know we can go there and put them to the sword like we did last season. We lost about 15 points by being easy on teams and not going for it when we could have done and quite easily beat them. So this time round, he knows himself. The players know that too. That this is now the moment that it has to happen. And I think because of, like I said, the signs we've made, even though it's just the 2 at the moment, you know, with Sancho and Varane, it's going to be a big boost to the team. Big boost to the team. And I think confidence is up. Our tails are up. We're in a good mood. We're in good form. You know what? Let's have it. Simple as that.
So are we going top 4 or are we actually going, you think you'll win it?
I'm going, well, I predicted last night on Rich's stream, and I'll say it right here, right now again. I'm predicting the double, Man United double.
Right. Premier League. What, Man United and the garlic bread?
Yeah. Premier League, Champions League double, Man United this season.
Well, you've got the squad. And like I say, you know, it's I can't actually believe I'm saying this. It would be a change for Man United to win something. And I don't mean that sarcastically, but you went for so long constantly winning and you've been so long now without it. As I say, I think with the purchases you're making, there's as I say, the pressure's going to be on Ollie. We've been linked, I've got to be honest with you. Somebody's sort of dropped me a little whisper in the old ear hole that we might be getting Dan James next week.
Oh, really?
And Rob's asking here, are you going to sell us? Are you going to sell us Jesse?
I mean, for me, we should just let Jesse go. You know, let him go because that position is more than filled. Let him go. Get the money in for him, 25, 30 or whatever it is they're wanting for him. And we need to push for that number 6. You know, we know it's not going to be Declan Rice. I don't think. I think he's probably got his eyes on Chelsea. You know, Neves. Who would we rather have, Neves, Ndidi, or Camavinga? I don't know. To be fair, I mean, I would like Ndidi. You know, maybe there's something going to go on here between Leicester and Man United for Dan James money, and then Ndidi the other way. Who knows?
I tell you, well, you keep Dan James, we'll keep Ndidi. How about that?
Well,
so, as always, a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Nice. It was also nice to talk to you as well. You've not. That's why I'm only ever filmed from the chest upwards. How do people find you, mate?
Just on Twitter, iTalkMU, and you know the usual places: Stephen's channel, Rich's channel, etc. Man United Agenda.
Plenty of channels out there. Man United Agenda is a great one. You do a lot of great shows on there. I pop in every now and again and sort of just to have a laugh. No, seriously, to have a joke.
No, but, listen, we appreciate the support when you come in, mate. No doubt about that.
It's always no, and thank you very much for coming on, mate. I would imagine, as always, you're hungry and your fridge is calling you. And enjoy, mate. Thanks very much for coming on.
No worries, mate. Ciao.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And we're going to say good evening to a Spurs fan. How the devil are you, sir?
How's it going, Chris? Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for stepping in at the last minute when
not a problem.
We were let down by the other Tottenham channel did what we call these days. We call it doing a Harry Kane. That is no showing. Saw you earlier on your chat. Things settled now at Spurs a little bit?
Oh dear, it's too early, Chris. It's too early. I'm one of these at the minute. I'm sitting on the fence with Nuno. He wasn't my number one choice.
He wasn't
wanted
Spurs' number
Conte all
one
along.
choice, or number 2, or number 3, was he?
Exactly, not number 8, number 9, and it's seriously, it's been an absolute mess. But since Paratici's come in, and it seems like the ship is settling a bit, and it looks like he's taken control of that side. He's apparently he's in talks with Nuno all the time about what players he wants and what positions he needs, and it looks like he's doing a fantastic job at the minute, Chris. So the jury's still out with
and he's
Nuno.
not a bad manager, to be honest with you.
But do you know what, Chris? We've gone from Jose with his negative tactics. He's gone back. Looks like Nuno's gone back to the Pochettino days where we're on the front foot. We're pressing, and we saw that yesterday against Arsenal. I thought we was all right against Arsenal yesterday for the first 20 minutes, and in the second half, I think we deserved that win yesterday. But time will tell, Chris. I'm going to give it to the end of the transfer window, then I'll decide.
Where, not a problem.
Where we're going to go?
So, where are we? I mean, Tottenham last season. You're in the old. I hate actually calling it the UEFA Conference because it sounds so bad. But it's still Europe. I know you guys didn't want it, but hey, it's Europe at the end of the day. That may prove a problem for you with the league. I don't know what nights they're playing. Obviously, Champions League is Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays for Europa. But where do you see
Thursdays? I think
Thursdays, is it right? Right. I mean, we may end up playing you if we get a bad draw and struggle. We could drop down into the old conference.
You never know, Chris.
You never know. Hopefully not. I've got us a 5 runners winning it. So where do you think Tottenham? You ended up 7th last year, above Arsenal, which is obviously the main thing. Where would you see yourself finishing this term?
It all depends, Chris. Harry Kane stays, I'll say 5 and 6. Definitely. It looks like tonight, Chris, we're hearing that he's available for Sunday against Man City. He's had talks with Nuno and Paraticic today. And it looks like it could be a chance that he's staying. And it looks like if he does stay, they're going to offer him another big contract. And maybe they're going to put a clause in that contract, a release clause. So if he does stay, Chris, it all depends on Harry Kane, seriously. I'll put us in 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Yeah, that is great. I mean, these things change in football. A year ago, Messi was doing his best to try and get out of Barcelona. This year, he's doing his, he's crying because he's leaving. So, work it out. Mate, thanks so much for coming on. Give your channel a quick shout out and I will add it afterwards down below as well.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, nice one, Chris. Thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, if you want to see me, guys, I'm on Premier Hotspur TV on YouTube and on Twitter as well, guys. So thanks, Chris, for having me on tonight, mate.
Thanks for coming on and digging me out of a hole there, mate. Good luck for the rest of the season, Chris. And of course, unless you play Leicester.
Good luck, and we always beat Leicester anyway. So
I know this is why I want Kane to go. Thanks very much, mate. All the best. Take care.
All the best, Chris. Cheers, pal.
Cheers. Thank you. Oh, thanks to the Spurs fan there coming on and digging me out. We're going to say hello now to Ben, an Everton fan. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm not so bad. Thanks for holding on. It's like I feel like I'm a doctor because when you go to the doctors and your appointment's at 6:05, but you actually get in at about 6:30. I feel that's
it's all right.
The way,
it happens.
That's the way. We asked the Arsenal fan what was wrong with Arsenal, and of course that was the mistake.
Oh, that's how long he got.
Exactly. Anyway, mate, Everton fan, new manager. Ancelotti going. I mean, that must have been a kick between the legs.
Yeah, Ancelotti was a bit of a shock when Real Madrid came snooping. I thought they better not come for Carlo, and then out of the blue, he just left. He was saying all these things. He wanted to stay for Everton. He wants to build a future. He wants to see the new stadium. He wants to manage the first game there, and then he just upped and left. And he just upped and left. And then Rafa came in, which was a bit of a divided opinion on the Merseyside front. But I'm on the side where, well, if he does a good job, then I'm all for it. And then if he gets us into Europe, again, I'm all for it. And then if he doesn't do a good job, then I'm on the other bandwagons.
Well, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to give him a chance. And I think Newcastle would have had him back. And I mean, obviously he managed Liverpool. Is that the big problem, or is it purely the fact because he hasn't got really an association with Liverpool, other than the fact that he managed him. He's not a Liverpool supporter. He's got the home still local, but
yeah, like I say, he lives in Liverpool. He's got family there. He won the Champions League with Liverpool, so obviously Liverpool fans hold him very dearly. I think it's just because he used to manage Liverpool. Everton fans just instantly hate him. But I quite like him as a manager. I like the way he sets out his team, difficult to beat. He always sets them back and plays counter-attacking football, which is what I want to see because we've been letting in so many silly goals over the season. So we need that sorting out right away.
Yeah. Rob's saying here, please, apparently there's rumours that you might be interested in Perez. We'll pay you.
Oh, really?
Well, the Newcastle fan wouldn't have him back off us. He's got rid of the receipt, so we can't take him back. Bless it. No, he's one of those. There's always a player, I think, that where the manager likes them, but you sit there and think, why does the manager keep picking him?
Yeah.
And I think, whoops, I've just gone out of focus there. And I think that's the thing with that. But anyway, bless him. So where do you think?
I think realistically we're on a bit of a rebuild. So 5th, 6th is a bit ambitious. So I'd like to finish in top 5 or 6, but if we finish anywhere between 7th and 10th, I'll be very happy. He's got a difficult job on his hands. So
he has, but you bought some big players last season under Carlo, didn't you?
Yeah, and James Rodriguez could be on his way out because Rafa apparently doesn't want him, which I can understand because he missed half of last season through injury and God knows else what. Got Richarlison that's feeling a bit unsettled as well. So we just need to start bringing in players that want to play for the club.
Right. Okay, well, we've got you there 7th to 10th, pretty much where you were last season. It's about stability with a new manager as much as anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
But brilliant. Please, I mean, your details again are in the description below. But please give a shout out to where people can find you.
Yep, so you can find me on my YouTube channel, Blue News Bags. I talk about all things Everton, what's going on with the club. You can find me on Twitter, same handle, and as well as Instagram.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, mate. Good luck for the season, and we'll
too.
See how right we all are at the end of it.
Yeah, cheers, Chris. Take care.
Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming on. Thanks to Ben there. It's beginning to form a bit now, and we're going to say hello to our West Ham fan here. Dan, how the devil are you, sir? Oops, hang on. Dan has muted his mic, I think.
Hi, Chris. Yeah,
hello.
Good, thanks.
Don't do that to me. I've just got to go and change my underwear now. Thanks for waiting and thanks for being patient. How are you doing, sir?
Good. I'd be better if there was a few signings by West Ham, but as we all know, our owners always leave it late.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, you had a good season last season. Was that just down to Jesse Lingard? I mean, you can't say it's down to one player, but he did seem to make the difference for you.
I think definitely the run at the end, we maybe would have run out of legs because his good form sort of come at a time when Antonio was injured, some of it, so that helped replace some of his goals until he come back. He definitely helped on an attacking side because that is one of West Ham's weaknesses. Where does the goals come from?
Right. So, I mean, I can remember last season, you were quite an early game up. And I think based on where you've been finishing for the previous 2 seasons, we were like, yeah, this is going to be 3 points. And it wasn't. You beat us, I think 3 or 4-0. And it was like, what the hell? But obviously, the rest of the season proved what a good season it was. David Moyes has come in, not always a popular choice, but he's done well for you. Can he carry that on and do the same season, or do you think it might be back to the old West Ham next season?
My prediction is they will fall off a little bit based on the information I have of the players, because you've got that extra competition of Europe, and they've actually got less players than they did last year. They're okay. They've got 4 goalkeepers, but they've got no actual players. It's ridiculous that they've got one striker in Antonio, who isn't an actual striker anyway, but 4 goalkeepers. And even with Balbrema, who they chose not to re-sign, he played half of the games last season. So with the pressure of Europe, I know there's rumours that they might bring a couple of defenders in maybe later this week, but I would be concerned by just the lack of depth in the squad.
Declan Rice, are you going to hang on to him?
At this point, it seems so, but I know he's being asked to be made aware of any bids. It does seem like he was hoping Chelsea would come in, but obviously they're definitely the team he wants to go to, but it's will they now? Maybe not, but we will see.
So 6th last season, as you can see it on your badge here. Where do you think you're going to finish next season?
My gut tells me about 9th because of just the extra competition.
And the extra, the fact that you're in Europe. So put you in the 7 to 10 bracket there. Getting a bit busy in that one. But well, thanks very much, Dan, for coming on. Give your channel a shout out so people know where they can find you.
Yeah, it's Let's Talk Sports. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and please check us out.
Brilliant. Dan, thanks very much for you, mate. Hope you have a good season. I'd say good luck in the Europa League, but I don't mean it because we want to win it. But stay safe, mate, and we'll no doubt talk during the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant, mate. All the best. Take care.
Yeah, okay, yeah, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, now here's trouble. Ankit, how are you doing?
Very well, sir. Very well, sir. And congratulations for winning another trophy at Wembley. I had to say that, as much as I don't like saying that, but yeah, congratulations for sure.
And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to the next chat after you. I might just have to remind Charlie about the score yesterday. But hey, yeah, it's another trophy. We've got we've got a 19-year-old in our back four, Luke Thomas, who's won more trophies than Jack Grealish at £100 million. But hey, who's saying that loud? Who's saying that loud? Oh, sorry, Jack, you're there, Charlie. Hi, mate. How you doing? Talking of Chelsea, though, it's how do you follow last season?
Well, I have to say, like, this is probably the season where I'm like most buzzed among all the recent seasons, right? Obviously, it's easier said than done. Winning a Champions League under just 6 months of management, and then you have the same manager at the helm. We've been there in the past with Roberto Di Matteo, but again, the difference here is Tuchel is in charge, right? And Tuchel, the tactician that he is, and we've actually literally seen, like, he's not someone who's learning the trade, unlike Di Matteo or Lampard. He's really there and beating Pep thrice in 3 meetings that he's had, and all the big managers. I think he's beaten Klopp, I think Simeone twice. So I think he's really up there. So I am excited, and I can't ask for more.
Well, the other more important question is, how long is Tuchel going to last? Because winning the Champions League doesn't keep your job at Chelsea, does it?
Yeah. As in, you can say that, but having said that, I think Tuchel is saying all the right things. Again, it's easier said than done, but I think from day one, he knows that he's here to win things. Like, he's not here to build, as in that's never going to happen, like you said, right? The moment we know that, okay, we are not challenging for the title, that's when Abramovich pulls the plug. And with Tuchel, I actually see him doing well because of the fact that, again, it came down to this transfer window, because it was probably, if you had asked me 72 hours earlier, then I would have said yes, probably he's hanging by the thread. But the fact that, we are going really big, as reports say, with Lukaku, I see that missing piece in the jigsaw puzzle is just coming through, and hopefully, that'll be enough for Tuchel to keep the job.
Right. So, last season, fourth, you just held on in there at our expense.
Thanks to you.
You lost the FA Cup final, if I remember. Did I say that out loud? But you went on to win the Champions League. So, where do you think Chelsea? I actually at one point had Chelsea winning it next season, but maybe a purchase by Man City might just change my mind on that one. But where would you put them?
Right, like you said, right. For me, it's the other way around, I would say, because 72 hours earlier, until kind of reports really came by of Lukaku, I would have said yes. We'll probably challenge at best, but we will obviously fall short because Grealish was just announced, right, by Man City. But now, with Lukaku coming, the only reason why he's coming back is to finish that unfinished business, and he is at the prime of his career. I know that he's probably not a Harry Kane, but he is probably top 4 strikers in the world, and I can easily see him scoring the goals that we're missing. So
you sold him, didn't you? You sold Lukaku.
Yes,
how much did you sell him for?
It was 28, and we are paying twice as much, I guess, now. But the fact that he himself
I
did
just
not want
thought
to
I'd ask
compete
that.
at
I
the
just
time.
thought I'd put that out there, and clubs wonder why they're struggling.
You know what? I have some quick data for you. So basically, we buy back players. It's always the case. That's Chelsea for you. 2015, we bought back, I think, Drogba. We won the league. 2017, we bought back David Luiz. We won the league. So maybe this is third time lucky again. I don't know. That's something to go with the superstition.
Basically, what he's saying is that Chelsea's philosophy to win the Premier League is to buy a player, let him go reasonably cheap, and then buy him back extraordinarily expensively, and you'll win the league.
Well, we are basically ready for it, right? So yeah.
I jest. But where we're gonna? So you don't? Do you think you're gonna win it? Are you gonna go for first, or are you gonna be top 4? Do you think?
No, I'm certainly going to go for first, because yes, it'll be a very close competition between Man City and Chelsea for me. But I actually have us winning the league, because if not, like you said, Tuchel will not be in the job.
Right. So it's at the moment it's between Man United, Chelsea, and the garlic bread to win the Premier League. Mate, thanks very much for coming on. Give your channels a shout out. Details are below, as we always say. But yeah, give your channel a shout out.
Right. Firstly, guys, please subscribe and like this particular channel video, because it's a great channel. I think probably most of the time that you can find me is on Leicester Till I Die TV on the chat. That's one place. But yes, definitely it's RCBN Chelsea Fan TV. A lot of Chelsea content, as you can imagine. But off late, I've started a lot of generic content on football, and of course, RCBN comes from a cricket franchise. So before Chris kind of falls asleep, I have to say it's primarily a football channel. All clubs, mostly Chelsea, but definitely some bit of cricket as well for you cricket lovers. So RCBN Chelsea Fan TV on YouTube, and my name is Ankit Rana. That's how you can find me on Instagram as well as on Facebook, and on Twitter it's RCBN Chelsea Fan TV.
But if you do find Ankit, whatever you do, don't invite him on to do a quiz, because he's too good at them. Ankit, thanks very much. Good luck for next season, mate. Hope your wishes come true, and we'll no doubt speak soon. Take care, bud.
Thank you. Top man.
Thank you. And we're going to say hello now to half of Matchday Vlogs. I believe it's the handsome half.
Oh, he's got it. He knows.
If I remember his own publicity.
Hey, listen, there's no way to tell that was actually me typing that. Although it came from my personal account, I was hacked. That's what they say, right? I was hacked.
It was ... Rebecca Vardy.
That's it. That's some Colleen Rooney type detective work you've done there, my friend.
Hey, mate, never let it be said that I won't stick up for a fellow football fan.
Always. Well, I would say
Oh.
congratulations for the weekend, but I guess you're sick of hearing that by now, right? You
No,
don't wanna hear
no. I won't be sick of it at all, and
okay.
I will still be talking about it come next February.
In which case, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It wasn't a game that will live long in the memory, but like I say, lose it, it's just a friendly. Win it, it's a major English trophy.
Yes, and mate, you've got to stock up that trophy cabinet, no matter what they say. You know, I love that. I love the Johnson Paint Trophy. It's one of my favourites. And
hey, Spurs would have that off you now.
Oh, they would love that. They ain't never getting it though. They never win that.
Yeah, I got one of my colleagues here, and Brad said that we could borrow Spurs trophy cabinet because theirs is empty and ours is getting a bit full. But, be careful, be careful. Yeah, Danny Ings gone.
Yep.
Vestgaard may be coming to us, but having said that, we're being linked with every centre back going at the moment. You know. Will you have a team left? I mean, you know, everybody's leaving us, so we know how you feel. But will you?
Well, here's the thing: we were in the stadium when the Danny Ings news dropped, and it was like we were in the eye of the hurricane because there was this weird calm before this storm. We were like, I don't think everybody's realised yet. And then by the time we got out to our seats, everyone was like, "Have you seen the news?" And we were like, "Yeah, it's not great." I think we were all shocked because he went to Aston Villa. The way he was talking is that he wanted Champions League football and sort of more the top six. So when we saw Villa, we were like, "Oh, really?" But then when you see that we got 30 million for him, you're like, I know why we probably let him go to Villa. It probably wasn't all up to Danny. It was, you know, and the way go on.
Sorry, no, I was just saying every player has their price at the end of the day, don't they?
Exactly, and not to be, you know, the bitter ex-girlfriend, but you know, his goodbye message was a couple of sentences, and for a guy who is his hometown club, you know, boyhood club, it kind of just seemed a bit of a stunted goodbye. So it hurt at first, but after today's news that we've just got Adam Armstrong from Blackburn, I think we're all very excited for that.
Wow,
you know, 28 goals last season. That's a wicked signing for us, you know. And
I will always support signings from the lower leagues because A, it helps those clubs out. And,
absolutely.
And B, look at our history of
just look at Vardy.
Just
have to look at Jamie Vardy, and you're like, lower leagues can come up here and do a job, but Adam Armstrong's really got us all excited. And we've just also today looks like we confirmed Broja from Chelsea as well, a youngster from there, scored 10 goals, I think, in the Dutch league last season. So it's on the upside. We could afford losing Vestergaard, to be honest. If you were giving us the right price for him, I would happily let him go to you.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you know, thank you for Ryan Bertrand. We weren't too sure when we signed him, but he's been with us less than a month and he's got a trophy.
Yeah, well, not
having a dig at Southampton or anything.
Right, that hurt.
You know.
That was a body shot I was not expecting. Thanks for that. Yeah, okay. No, the thing about Bertie is that for the past 3-4 seasons, he's always been this squad player, Mr. Reliable, always there on the pitch. And because of that, I don't think we ever really questioned his role too much. But now we've signed up Peru from the French leagues, and he's got so much pace bombing up the wings, and he's a real good counterpart to Kyle Walker-Peters on each side. So we're very attacking fullbacks now. And you see the pace there, and you're like, maybe Bertie did just drop a little bit in the last few seasons. So as sad as I was to see him go, I'm excited to see fresh blood in the squad. And it's looking on an upswing for us right now.
Yeah. Well, last season, it started very well for you.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's that famous weekend, I think, when 4 teams, including ourselves, were all top of the league at some point. Tottenham were top of the league, but I believe that the DVD is available for that. But it kind of trailed off. 15th in the end, a semi-final of the FA Cup. Don't know who you lost that to either. Yeah. But where do you think what do you think is going to happen next season?
Well, last season was pitfalls of injuries. We were so wrecked and riddled by injuries. I mean, when we played that United game, I can't remember what the score was in that game, but we played United. You know, we benched 2 goalkeepers. We had most of the reserve squad there, and that spilled onto the pitch. So we were looking for depth this season. So we've got rid of a lot of deadwood, heavy waste players. We're bringing in a decent amount. You know, even a couple of reserve players that will eventually come through the team maybe later on the season. So although I'm not as going into last season, I was like, oh, maybe we could contend for maybe European spots. And then the first half of the season happened. I was like, oh my God, we might actually contend for European spots. Yeah. And then the train came off the tracks and I was hurt so deeply and it just sucked. Like, me and Mike did a terrible video where we reviewed the whole season game by game. And I cannot tell you how depressing post-Christmas was. It was so sad. And all I can hope is that we can sprinkle it out this season. So for me personally, I think 15th, 14th, I think, the upper echelon of the bottom half of the table, as I like to call it. You come 11th, you're best of the rest, I like to say. 15th, 14th for us. So I think, that's kind of where we're going to sit.
I think each season, I remember when we sort of Leicester were having the mini glory years under Martin O'Neill and we were finishing 9th and 10th. We started every season just wanting to stay up because that was progression. And, and I think I get that feeling with Southampton, that I'm not saying you're too good to go down because no club is too good to go down, but please don't go down. So I live in Bournemouth, and it's a 7-hour return journey to Leicester to watch my team. I've lost Bournemouth. That used to be my home game. You are my next closest. So
listen, I really never fear. I mean, this sounds big-headed for a Southampton fan, but I never really fear relegation because I do think there's enough quality in the side to stay in the league. I think at the very worst, right now we are a 16th to 17th team.
Yeah.
At the very best, we could possibly push for 10th to 7th. We can maybe make a Europa spot if everything goes perfectly right for us. I mean, look at like we said, look at us at the beginning of the first of last season. If those wheels didn't come off, who knows where we could have been? But it's the fact that those wheels did come off and we really couldn't recover. So for me, I think last season was brutal for everyone. I think it's a big learning curve for Ralph in the league for us. And I think that I look at our squad. Players like Theo, I think Theo Walcott coming to the squad, although you may not see it on the pitch, behind the scenes, the way he works with the youth development and all those players that get him ignited together, he's going to do a great job. Nathan Teller, you're going to see him this season is going to really shine because of that. So I've got confidence in us. Although if you were to watch our predictions on the Matchday Vlogs channel, which you should all like and subscribe to, apparently YouTubers have to do that. I don't know. I will probably be saying 10th to 7th, but because I'm on another person's channel and I have to be a little bit brutally honest, 14th, 15th.
14th, 15th. Brilliant. Thanks so much for coming on. I was going to say give your channels a shout out, but you have done. The link is in the description below. We're going to have we've been doing a quiz, Jack, so we didn't get a Southampton fan on for the quiz. So what I'll do is I'll send you a message for when it's International Week. We'll see if we can get you on to do the quiz.
Please do. My pub quiz knowledge is just whew.
Well, it's a football quiz.
Football. In which case I will be terrible. Unless they're all Southampton based, in which case I'll be pretty good at them.
Well, yeah, there are 10. There's 20. There's 20 questions, but 10 of them are on Southampton, so you'll be all right.
All right.
And I'm just pleased that I've managed to get through this whole chat without mentioning Leicester.
Let's not say it.
Oh, God, damn, blast! And do I nearly.
We did so well. We
nearly got through there. Oh no. Oh, damn. Right, hey, my therapist says it's good to talk.
Your therapist has never seen their team lose 9-0 in the rain.
Was it raining? I didn't notice. But
I noticed.
Thanks very much, mate. Hey, good luck for the season, and I do hope you stay up and tune into Matchday Vlogs. It's a great channel. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Guys. See you soon,
cheers.
Guys.
Thank you. Bye. Right, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Oops. And I just I just took him out and I bring him back in. I've been in there. We've got probably what a lot of people are saying, and I'm sorry to say this, from the top to the bottom of the league here with Norwich and Man City lined up. Jacob, first of all, congratulations. Welcome back to the Premier League.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the last time we were in here, it was. It didn't end too well. COVID was horrendous. But
yes,
looking forward.
It buggered all our seasons up. If
I don't think it did anyone as bad as Norwich. 10 straight defeats. I think we scored maybe 1 in that time, and that was. If I'll never watch anything as bad as that, mate. But yeah, looking forward to this time. Hopefully, being slightly better.
I mean, you've lost a couple of players, but. I feel like with Norwich, when you come up, that you just don't quite do enough to stay up, as in maybe spending money. You're scared, almost like you're scared that if you do and you go down, you're going to be in trouble. You don't seem to take that risk.
It's just the money's not there, to be honest with you. If you look at the whole kind of pay scale of well, let's go from Man City to Norwich level, like even compared to a Burnley, we've got no money really to play with, which is why
Delia write another book.
We need her to, mate. We need her to write probably a few hundred to be able to get the proper money in. But yeah, that's why Amy Buendia went, which is kind of inevitable. We had a kind of gentleman's agreement. If he got us up, which he did pretty much single-handedly, we'd let him go.
Yeah.
So that's 32 million in the bank, plus probably about 20 more that we had from going up. So yeah, it's going to be the most Norwich ever spend. It'll be 30, 40, maybe even 50 million spent altogether, which might not sound much for every other club, but that is monumental figures for Norwich. So hopefully they get there's a couple coming in, then hopefully a couple more. And 15% on James Maddison that I'm looking down there. That's why that deal's holding up, apparently. I'm looking forward to getting 6 or 7 million from that. And we could just make it the Maddison show if you like. I'm happy to use
Not going to happen. No, not going to happen at all. I mean, it's quite funny because it depends who you listen to and who you believe. And, Fabrizio has said that it's not going to happen, and yet he's got things wrong in the past, and if he get, like I said now, all bantering aside, if he goes, he goes, and but he'll go on our terms for the amount of money we want. But so Norwich, you stuck with your manager, came straight back up, champions, I believe. Were you champions?
Yeah, walked the league really, quite comfortable in the end.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful because I mean, Leicester at one point in the 70s, 80s, we were, we went up and down like, bride's knickers on a wedding night, and West Brom have done that as well. Yeah. But you've got to be careful of that, and sometimes, when you get a team like Sheffield United come up the first season, they kind of surprise the Premier League. Blackpool did it when they came up under Ollie, and they went top. But you've kind of not got that element of surprise with you coming back up.
It's just that they're also like you're saying, like selling players is fine. It's how you replace them, and like with like Southampton, you see they did it so well when they first came up with Lallana, Lambert, all those, and then you think they've dropped down a little bit, slightly lost their identity. That's something with Norwich that, like you say, each time you go down, it's a hell of a lot harder to come straight back up again. COVID helped us keeping likes of Aaron's, obviously. The main one really, Pookie obviously stayed. No one was really after him, but yeah, a lot of the main kind of guards stayed. This time round, you'd think, potentially, obviously Villa are sniffing around Todd, which could be an interesting one. Hopefully he stays, but yeah, like you say, this is a big year for Norwich, because if you can stay up, which if you drag a few of those in, I'm just looking at your table now. I'm looking at Wolves, Southampton. If they get a few injuries, they're going to drop. Newcastle, I think, might be too good. Burnley just always seem to find a way, which is frustrating. But you look at the likes of Watford and Brentford, we should be aiming higher than them, because we comfortably finished higher than them in the Championship. So you're looking at it and saying their squad is not that much better now. So you're looking at two, and then you just need one other to really get into a horrible scrap, and hope and pray that we somehow stay up and scrape 17th.
The problem is, I think, that because Fulham last season were very much like that. They, if they just had that little bit extra, they might have stayed up. But I mean, I've got to thank you for coming straight back up, and I'm sure Charlie will at Man City, because they need the money now. They've spent what they've spent. They're hanging out the hat to collect the money now. But coming back up yourself from Watford, you've saved it. We've got your what do they? I forgot what it's called now. But the money that you get when you go down.
Yeah. Let's hope we just beat you both again. That's the thing that we found last time. We beat a couple of the really good teams and played well in the top six. We got most of our points. It was the horrible scrappy ones we didn't. But looking forward to the season. Just not looking forward to the return of VAR. Really, I haven't missed that one.
I've got to be honest with you, and you've just reminded me, because I do need to ask Charlie about this afterwards, because apparently it wasn't until I was up at 3:00 this morning re-watching the Charity Shield game, which we won 1-0. I just to point that out. But apparently VAR was was there on Saturday, and I didn't even know it was. I thought they'd dumped it, but hey, it is what it is. We've got to live with it. We complained about the refs. We're now complaining about VAR. But so, any new signings come in?
Yeah, got a couple. Billy Gilmore from Chelsea looks like an interesting one. It'll be really interesting to see how. It's interesting to see how he compares to kind of from top club to obviously kind of relegation scrap. Pierre Limalou, I'd keep a kind of eye out for his name because he loves a shot from range. About to sign Josh Sargent from Werder Bremen, a young USA forward, which will be interesting. And then Solis as well from Greece, which will be a kind of an attacking winger to kind of replace Buendia. So what Norwich do, we kind of buy these players a bit unpolished, and then like you guys did with the likes of Mahrez, Kante, like they're almost unpolished, untested, and it's just about. I'm not expecting them to get to that level, but getting them up to kind of Premier League standard. And if you just stay up for those 1 or 2 years, they're the difference, aren't they? As I'm sure you guys know better than anyone else.
Yeah. So, are you going to go straight back down again, or are you going to stay up? Where do you put yourself?
I mean, I'm trying not to judge before the end of the window. If we get their forward in, get the winger in, and then a CDM is vital. We had Ollie Skip last year, who was so good for us. Don't think he's coming back, but someone like him would be brilliant. And then I say we've got 17th, 16th, just about. That's me being very optimistic, hoping we can drag a couple of those teams in and around us on that table down, and hopefully get another few scalps again.
Well, we will see. Nobody's predicting themselves to go down this season. And I'm pretty sure Charlie's not going to predict Man City to go down. But, stranger things have happened. Mate, welcome back to the Premier League. Nice to have you back. Love the new shirt, by the way. It was in my top 4 of shirts.
Was it? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Love the new shirt. Give your channel a shout out.
Yeah,
how
so
people can find you.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, Canary Cast, you can find us all over socials and YouTube. Obviously, do lots of Norwich. We'll be talking, hopefully get yourself on as well, but do previews with kind of before the games. That'd be brilliant. And just kind of, just enjoy the season, really, because I tell you what, sometimes we have to enjoy the Prem because we don't know when we're going to get it again.
Make the most of it. Go down smiling. Mate, that's what I used to say to my wife all the time. Thanks for, I should be saying this. Charlie's underage. I should be careful what I'm saying. Jacob, thanks so much for coming on. Great to have you back. Look forward to sort of playing you. And yes, we'll have to get together before and after games next season.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, mate. You're linked in the thing below. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Charlie, bless you. You've been sat there waiting for ages, but was football training cancelled?
No, I just finished early. It was 6:30 instead of 7. I turned up half an hour late.
Oh, no. Oh dear. Did you get fined? I mean, if that had been Messi, he would have been fined a few million.
Not quite. Not quite.
Well, you are my best buddy today because I'm coming on your show afterwards, talking about some little game that we played on Saturday.
Some pre-season friendly that no one's really bothered about. That one.
I like to think of it, as I say, as some major English trophy, to be honest with you. I mean, if it was Spain, and I've said this before, if it was Spain, it would be the Champions Cup or something, wouldn't it? Not just the Community Shield, But I do like to think ourselves as champions of England at the moment. No, you're not going with that one.
Not obviously. Quite. Not quite.
No, we'll I'll get you convinced by the end of the season. I promise you. I mean, we knew on Saturday that it wasn't for you. No disrespect, but Pep had said he was going to play the youngsters.
Yeah.
He did. It wasn't, it was quite early for you because you're still waiting for a lot of players to come back. So you can't judge your season on that game. But I thought, saying that I hadn't heard of half your team, you were making us work really hard. But Grealish, 100 million, would you have brought him on in that, or would you have started him? Or
I
Should
think
we
he
wait
had to.
until next week?
I think he had to come on at some point, to be honest, just to stretch his legs out, get a bit of a run out. So I don't think he should have started, but coming off the bench, I agree with you.
Yes. I think as well for me, I mean, it's a hell of a tag. I mean, if we look at Maguire when we sold him to Man United for 80 million, it took him a while to come to terms, I think, with the fact that he was the most expensive defender in the world,
Yeah.
and it was a big club. And no disrespect to Aston Villa, but they're not a Manchester City.
Yeah.
It in a way, it's almost like getting it out the way.
Yeah.
Scott says there Leicester had a few youngsters as well. We did, in fairness. Scott, I was trying to be kind. Scott just goes for the jugular. So you spent 100 million on Kane, and at the end of the day, do you know what? Like I said to Ray, who we're going to be chatting with later, from for a Man City fan. I don't begrudge it with Man City, because you probably won't remember because you're too young. But 10 years ago, we were playing each other in the third tier. And I'm sure, like people look at Man City, people, the Prestons and teams like that will look at Leicester and go, you're a bloody rich club and what have you. So it's all relative in a way. But, at the end of the day, if you've got the money, and if the roles were reversed, I'm sure we would be doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you've gone out now, say 100 million on Grealish. Kane, you do need a striker, don't you?
Yeah, I think a striker was needed more than Grealish, to be honest.
Was the Grealish signing, do you think that was more because to stop anybody else getting him?
Potentially.
But and do you think Kane is that going to happen now? Or I mean, I don't know. I mean, apparently he didn't miss training. I think he's been smoking something, to be honest with you. But apparently it was all a misunderstanding. Are you going to get him, do you think?
I don't know anymore. Daniel Levy's just, you don't know what he's going to do next, to be honest. He could put a 150 million price tag on him, and then I don't think we'll get him then.
No. But having said that, if anybody's going to get him at that, I suppose you are,
Yeah.
Well, like I say, you won it last year. You're defending champions. What's going to happen next season?
We got to go for the title again, I think. I think it'll be a good title race, though, between us, United, Chelsea and Liverpool, to be honest.
I've got to be totally honest with you, and I know I'm a Leicester fan and I should be saying top four, but I think you to anybody, whether it's us or West Ham or Spurs, or if Arsenal come back, to break into that top four, we've got to look at one of you lot dropping out.
Yeah.
And when you are buying players like Grealish for 100 million and Chelsea 94 million for Lukaku, and then Man United have spent a fortune. Liverpool, by equivalent terms, haven't really. But I think if anybody's going to drop out, it might be Liverpool. But I think you're going to have it harder next season than it was for you this season.
Yeah. All the other teams last season were crap, to be honest. Liverpool were missing Van Dijk. Chelsea hired Tuchel halfway through the season. Obviously sat Lampard.
Yeah.
United weren't great. They were not anything special, to be honest.
They had a normal year, really, didn't they?
Yeah. We only won the league with 80 odd points, and not 2 seasons before that, when we won it in 18-19, we got 98 points. So we didn't need as many points last season to win the title, and we won it pretty comfortably.
Well, exactly. I think it is going to be tighter. It's going to be you, Chelsea, Man United, or the garlic bread there that's going to win it. So my money's on the garlic bread. I've got to be honest with you. But Charlie, good luck. Don't like your away kit. I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
I don't like it either, to be honest.
And I've got to be totally honest with you. And I think it was just me here, but I thought you were the home team at Wembley. And
I did as well.
Yeah, and I was sat right up in the gods. And I'm looking down, and I'm thinking, "Oh, that's Leicester in the white," because it looked from a distance. It could be. You had the green as well, and I was. That's just my age, I think. It certainly wasn't the drink because I didn't have any. But Charlie, thanks so much for popping on. I will see you in about an hour.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
And just give your channel a shout out so people know where to come and watch us talk about Leicester beating Manchester City and becoming the champions of England.
Yeah, you can find me at Dugout Daily on YouTube live at 9:30 with Chris and Ray from City Fan TV talking about the Community Shield on Saturday.
Yeah, the win, the battle of the champions. You're not going to have it, are you? Charlie, you were very patient. Thanks for hanging on, and thanks for coming on. We'll obviously speak to you in an hour or so.
Yeah, cheers again, mate.
Brilliant.
See you in a bit.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
See
Take
ya.
care. Bye. Thanks to Charlie and thanks to everybody for coming on. So we've got a few teams left. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick the link in the description here. So if anybody wants to just come on and have a very quick chat about their team, we have got a little bit of time left. And we're going to have a look at those teams whose fans I wasn't able to get on. And we will be doing that straight after this.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
Premier League is back. Yes, I cannot wait. Right, so who do we have left? So I'm going to have to put these in. Well, realised we've not done Leicester yet. So where do I think Leicester are going to come? Progression, you'd probably have to say, we've got to be looking at making top four. But I just don't know. I mean, I could just said then to Charlie, the Man City fan, in fairness, for us to finish top four, we've got to have one of those four drop out. Who would that be? I suppose if anybody, Liverpool, like I just said. We've got the Europa League. We know that affects us, but it's not going to be that bad because they don't play. They're going to make our games later. They've said this season because we're playing on the Thursday. So FA Cup, having won it, we're not going to take that lightly. We're going to want to do well in that again. We've got a lot of youngsters. We're getting a big squad, which is the good thing. Now, with the squad, they're not necessarily going to get Premier League games, but with the going on four fronts, they're going to get games. I mean, Dewsbury Hall looks brilliant. It's Premier Hotspur TV. How dare you say I was so nice to you? Put Leicester 7-10. No, I think we'll finish. I have got to say, we've got the youngsters coming through. We've got a great squad. We made some great buys that other teams were linked with, but as I say, won't go and buy these players for 20, 30 million. The sooner us buy them and then come and give us 80, 90 million in a couple of years' time, which we don't mind. We don't mind at all. So I have a feeling for Leicester, and they were fifth last season. I've just got a feeling we're going to be fifth again. And you know what? For Leicester, that won't be bad. If we finish fifth or even sixth for a... Scott, are you going to come on and help me out here, mate? Got Leicester fifth or sixth. Leeds and Villa, we're challenging for them places. Premier Hotspur, only joking, mate. You could break the top 4. See, I don't think we will break the top 4. That's it. Scott, the link's in a little bit higher up if you want to click and just help me place these last few teams. And come on, you'd be more than welcome to do so. But no, I just can't see any of those 4, like I say, dropping out. I'd like to think they would, but with the sort of money they buy, but they're paying out for players and the players they're getting in. And like I say, 5th for Leicester for a 3rd season in Europa League. And if we win the Europa League, which I think we've got a good chance of winning the Europa League, to be honest with you, I think, I'm having a little bet on it. I'm having a little bet. And if we win the Europa League, we win the Champions League anyway, so it doesn't matter if we finish 5th or 6th. But do you know what? I think 5th, and for Leicester, that would be a good position to be in. You got to look. We've, in our recent history, we've been out of business twice. We've had a few takeovers. We're coming good now. 5th every season is more than good for Leicester and getting us European football. Yes, we'd love Champions League. Financially, it would be brilliant for the club, but just taking that extra step, I think, might not be next season. So 5th, I'm going to say 5th for Leicester, and I am more than happy with 5th. So where am I going to put all the other teams? Because nobody thinks their team's going to get relegated. Which, fair enough, really. I don't suppose any of us would put that down there. For Villa, they've got £100 million to spend with the Jack Grealish money. So, and they've just gone and bought Danny Ings as well. So I think, like Scott said, to be honest with you, I think they're going to be buying for that 5th or 6th. I mean, they did really well last season. They consolidated. Oh, we've got the gentleman back from Premier. No, let me just see if I can bring him in here. Hello, sir.
How's it going, Chris?
Hello. You've come back to help me out.
Go on then.
Otherwise, people accuse me of being biased. I'm just saying I'm putting Villa in the 5th to 6th place because they've got that 100 million to spend.
Oh, they've done some great signings, Chris.
Yeah,
Danny
Ings is amazing.
Danny Ings, what a signing that is! Absolutely, what a signing. And Leon Bailey, how the hell they got that deal over the line as well? He's another fantastic guy, seriously. And
yeah.
I think you'll probably put them in the right thing there, mate. 5 and 6, they'll be challenging.
I think they will, and I think the fact that they've sold one player for this 100 million, but they can get 2 or 3 players for that. Well, they already have done really. In fact, they were spending the money before the ink was dry on the check.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just it's. I know they're probably nearest rivals in the Premier League, but again, I like to see clubs that outside the top 6, and all respect to sort of Arsenal and Spurs, but I like to see these other clubs like ourselves do well and break that sort of glass ceiling.
So who we got left then?
Left we've got let's take it Brentford. Now, I don't know whether they will come up and do a Sheffield United or not.
Do you know what, Chris? I would love them to survive a season in the Prem.
Yes.
But to where they come from, I don't think they'll do it. I think they'll end up in the bottom 3.
I started to think, yes, they could stay up. They've got Ivan Toney, who they'll hold on to him, I think, for the one season. But I think if they go down, then he will leave. To be honest with you, as long as they beat Arsenal the weekend, I'm not too worried what happens to them for the rest of the season.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
That would be great. No, I think they'll have a good start because I think they are. I say all clubs that come up, I think, will have a good start. But like you say, I think they will struggle, and I think I agree with you there. I'm going to have to put them in the bottom 3. Now Brighton, I'm going to say bottom 3 for them as well.
Oh dear, with Brighton, they're a funny team. Graham Potter's done really well the last couple of seasons, isn't it? And Terrell Bean. They've got some good players as well. I like Bazuma, Mope, Lewis Dunk, and things like these players can probably pull their Brighton out the dumps again. But
Be careful
I can
here.
see, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Chris. I really can see where you're coming from. Can they survive another season?
Graham Potter is he's been built up to be this next great English manager, the future Terry Venables and Bobby Robson. I don't get it. He's all he's doing is getting Brighton to the, last season they finished, 16th, which Brighton are playing brilliantly and they've had more strikes on goal than any other team and all this. And yeah, but you're 16th. You know what I mean? You were literally. It's only because the bottom three were so awful last season, and they were. All three of them probably deserved to go down on the performances. Otherwise, if you'd had a decent, a decent one in the bottom three that was fighting to stay up, Burnley and Brighton could have been dragged in. So I don't buy into this. How wonderful, Graham Potter is, but for me, I'm afraid I think they are going to go down.
That's the thing, Chris. When he was going around and the rumours that he could be Tottenham's next boss, and I thought, nah, I don't want Graham Potter as Tottenham. I'm not being disrespectful, but what's he done?
What's
he done in these Brighton?
Exactly.
Oh, he plays great football. Look at his XG. Well, that don't mean nothing to me. Absolutely not. But the only thing with Brighton, Chris, they have got some really good individual players, but if they get injured, Chris, I worry about them. I really do.
Yeah.
So I can probably agree with you. Put them where Brentford are.
Yeah, I think so. And to be honest with you, it annoys me. I remember Wigan, and I've nothing against Wigan, but when you've got a team that just stays up every year, I feel like I'll just go down and give somebody else a chance, And I feel that way with Brighton now, down the road here, quite a local team for me, so it's good, for me to go and watch them there. Lovely stadium, and they've had the bad times as well when they were playing virtually on somebody's back garden. But no, I just think it's time. Get down, regroup, and come back stronger.
Come back,
This is let's come back to Leeds. I think Leeds is going to be the hard one. Palace, first of all, I honestly think Palace will go down. I did have them to go down. I think
wow.
Hodgson's gone. Vieira, how good a manager is he going to be in the Premier League? First time job.
Problem.
He might have that instant sort of boost, a la Frank Lampard, a la any new manager, to be honest with you. You've got Nuno. He's been in the Premier League for 3-4 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
he can do, And let's be honest with you, Palace, again, 14th last season. They haven't particularly gone out and made any buys. I just think this is their season again, and when they will really struggle.
I think they've made some couple of good signings, though, Chris. I really do. I think they have made. Yeah, they have made some couple of good signings. And the biggest thing was just keeping Wilfried Zaha, because he is the main talisman from. And if he keeps fit, if they can keep him fit, Chris, I think he'll bang the goals in and keep Palace up again this season. I'll say there was just great relegation, mate. Really, just great relegation. Where
So
probably
just
Norwich
into
is,
the
yeah.
16th, 17th position.
Yeah.
Yes.
Patrick, as you said, Chris, Patrick Vieira, how good is he? He ain't had a proper job, has he? And coming to the Premier League, it's a hard league to come in the manager team. So,
yes,
Palace, I think they've just got enough firepower, Chris, just to keep them afloat.
Yeah. Well, I won't argue with you. And Melina said there, hope Arsenal finish higher. I think a lot of teams here hope they will. That was Stephen's choice, Melina. That was not. We didn't put them there. Stephen put them there. But hey,
did you watch him yesterday?
And I tell you what, Melina, we were just saying then. I don't know if you caught it, Melina. A big game for you because if you lose to Brentford, oof. Brentford a bigger team than you in London? Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I mean, finishing below Tottenham, yeah, okay. But finishing below Brentford, you know. Anyway, Melina, trust the process. That's all I'll
Trust
say.
the process,
That's it. Watford. I mean, the biggest question is there, will they finish with the same manager that they start the season with?
Oh, this is the problem with Watford, Chris, isn't it? They go through managers like anything, can it? They sack them
we
like
all
anything.
do. In fairness, we all do. You know, I mean, Spurs recently and Leicester win. We're no different. After Pearson, we went through quite a few with them for a couple of years. But Watford, they just seem to do it for more often than I change my underwear.
It's a revolving door there, Chris, isn't it? It's a revolving door at Watford.
Yeah.
To me, Chris, I can't see nothing but a bottom three finish for Watford, mate. I just don't think they got the team to stay afloat. Deeney, his legs are gone now. He's in his 30s now.
Yeah,
he's the main one. They'll probably look to his goals to keep him up. I don't think they'll have enough, mate. To me personally, but as you say, Chris, we've had teams come up, mate, and we think they're going straight back down, and they surprised us. I mean, so.
But this is Watford, and we know where they've been before. Yeah, saved us a bit of money with the old parachute payment again. Thank you, along with Norwich. But I just can't see it, you know. And in fairness, I've got to be honest with you, I want them to go down because of the way they treated Nigel Pearson. When he came in, he was on the point of keeping them up, and they sacked him again. But who knows if he would have kept them up, of course. But yeah, I think unfortunately it's back down again for Watford. I'm sorry, you know. But Leeds now.
But Chris, I was just looking at that. Them two bottom tiers. It could be any of them going down.
Yes, it could.
Any of them. Any of them 7 teams there at the minute, mate. It's like Norwich. Okay, you can probably swap them with Brighton. You just don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, but I mean, any of them 7 teams can go down, really, Chris. But yeah.
I think a lot of those that were 16th and 17th were probably hoping more than more than knowingly, you know. But now Leeds.
Well,
people don't. Obviously, people have got a history with Leeds, and you know they've got that reputation. They're not the most popular team, shall we say? That said, I think they did very, very well last season.
Very well, Chris. Fantastic season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The problem is when you've got teams like you would think Spurs yourselves are going to come back stronger, like we've said. Arsenal possibly come back stronger. You know, Aston Villa. We've said because of the money they've got, it's. I think it's always difficult, and people laugh at me when I say this because of what Leicester did, but it's a second season syndrome, and it's not. I don't think it's about staying up that first season. It's about staying up that second season. But look at Sheffield United last year. Who would have seen that coming? You know.
Yeah.
That said, I don't think that will happen to Leeds. But I just wonder whether other teams around them in that mid-table area will actually make better strides than they will.
I think with Leeds, Chris, at the minute, their fans may be a bit worried lack of transfers at the minute coming in. I just think the biggest thing is keeping hold of the likes of Phillips and Rafinha and players like that, mate, who actually... make Leeds tick. Do you know what I mean? I think it's important to keep these kind of players and bringing players in a minute. But Chris, you need to refresh, and as you know, mate, you can't stand still in the Premier League.
No.
And we got to the end of August or September the first, whenever that transfer window.
31st of August. I think it is.
I doubtly Leeds will definitely, I think, will bring in 1 or 2. But I think they'll have enough, mate. I think they'll have enough, and maybe put them into the 7th of 10th.
I was just going to say 7th to 10th. Yeah, I think because they were 9th last season, and I think if they finish in that sort of bracket, they will be happy.
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
the fans will be absolutely overjoyed because, okay, when they come up last season, Chris, people say, oh, they're going back down, and I knew they'll have a good season because they've got the money, Chris. They have got money there. They've got good owners who like pumping money into the club. You know what I mean? So, and they got a good boss. I do like Bielsa.
Yeah,
he's a good manager, and he's got them going. But keep the main players, mate. The Bamfords up front, the Phillips, the Rafinhas. These are the ones you need to keep hold of.
Do you know what I like about Bielsa? And people laugh at me when I say this, but it's true. That game that he played against Villa, when they should have stopped the game. Well, they didn't have to stop the game, but they didn't stop the game. They went and scored, and then he let Villa go on and equalise.
Yeah,
and to me, it was such a gentlemanly thing to do, and he didn't have to do it, But I've liked him since then, and it's good to have Leeds and that sort of size club back in the top. But I'm going to ask you, and thanks so much for coming back on again, mate. But I want to just ask you, we've got 3 at the top there. United, Chelsea, and Man City, or the garlic bread, you could say, the 4th if you want to go for the garlic bread. It might be hard for a Chelsea fan to say this, but out of those 3, if you had to pick one now,
City.
Do
you know what, Chris? Actually, let me just take that back for a second. I think it will hinge on Harry Kane going to City. Harry Kane goes City all day long.
Yes.
But I do worry for Chelsea. I do worry about Chelsea because we're getting Lukaku, and he is an absolutely sensational player. Seriously, that guy will score goals for Chelsea, and they may win it, Chris.
Yeah.
But they've got a great team. They've got a great coach.
Exactly.
I wouldn't back Chelsea out of it. I really won't, mate. But if Harry Kane goes to City, that could be over.
See, I think I said Chelsea at the start before the transfer window. My money was on Chelsea first, City second, United third, Liverpool fourth was the way I'd gone for it. And I just think, I know. Well, the Harry Kane we don't know about at the moment. Jack Grealish, buying one player isn't going to suddenly make you into any better than you already are. You would hope it would add something to you, but you look at Man City, they've got Kevin De Bruyne, and if you look at that, but he has bad games. He has games sometimes that just doesn't click.
The Grealish transfer just baffled me. It really did. I said you didn't need to sign another midfield. You got a bundle of talent in that midfield, and it's won you Premier Leagues, it's won you FA Cups, and it's won you the Carabao Cups and things like that. So why 100 million as well for Jack Grealish? He's a quality player, Chris, but I don't think he's in the 100 million bracket. And Grealish.
No, I agree. But
Chris, but seriously, mate, if what we're hearing tonight that Tottenham have had talks with Harry Kane, and it apparently looks like another massive deal, and that's a massive contract is going to be offered to Harry Kane. And if we don't get top 4, apparently it's going to be in the contract. This season he can go. Next year he'll be released. So we have to wait. We have to wait and see, because I don't trust these sort of stories, Chris. You know what I mean? So
and to be honest with you, I banter and me and Chelsea fans fall out. Me and Arsenal fans are falling out every other day at the moment about Maddison. But it's all talk until the pen's on the paper. He's signed, he's signing an unphotoshopped Arsenal shirt, then we'll believe it, But mate, just give your channel a shout out once more, because you've come back on.
No, because yes, guys, if you want to see more of me and Matt, we're over at Premier Hotspur TV on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter, guys. But firstly, guys, get over to Chris, because he's a fantastic channel, fantastic guy, and he brings fantastic content.
Mate, thanks very much for that. I really do appreciate that. And apart from when you play Leicester, and I hope Kane goes because he always seems to score against us. Good luck for the season. And
yeah, Chris.
I'll probably say this to the
Massive.
Arsenal fan when you're not listening, but finish above Arsenal.
Chris, have a fantastic season. Good luck, pal.
You as well, mate. Speak to you soon. Take care.
See you soon, pal.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks, mate, for coming back on. That was really, really good of you. So let's have a look what we've got then. We've got Man City, Chelsea and Man United, plus the garlic bread, all think they're going to be finishing first. Liverpool think they're going to make top four, so not quite another challenge yet. That 5th, 6th position, Spurs possibly. Leicester again. And Villa, if they make the most, they had a good season. This is their 3rd season up now. Last season, I say, for me, it's always how teams perform in that 2nd season, and they did well in the 2nd season. 7th to 10th, Arsenal, I'm afraid. Even with Maddison, because I just wonder, Arsenal fans, if you've got the players around him to make the difference. It's no good going. I mean, Man City have gone out and spent 100 million on Grealish, but without doubt, Man City have got the players around Grealish that will improve his game. Have Arsenal at the moment got enough? And I mean enough. Yes, you've got Saka, you've got the odd player here and there. But have you got enough good players to make the most of Maddison? And if you're going to spend 50 million on a defender from Brighton, who finished 16th, was it, did we say last season, Brighton? 16th. And you think you're going to get Maddison for the same money? No, it's not going to happen. So if you are a big club, come in with the money, put your money on the table, and we'll see, where we go. Because all joking apart, I'm going to say this now, and then it's done, but he could go. Maddison could go. We're not going to say he shouldn't go. It's just this, you think that he would, walk barefoot over broken glass to get to you. He wouldn't. And he will go on our terms. He signed a 4-year contract. And don't think that he says he wants to go. He will go. Mahrez didn't. Mahrez wanted to go for 2 seasons. We didn't let him go until we were ready. Come in with an offer like Maguire and don't mess about like Man United did with a 40 million and this player, a 40 million, and Joe who cleans the Arsenal toilets out. So, you're going to have to come up with the cash. But like I say, I do wonder about the players around him. Mid-table obscurity, Wolves and Southampton, and they'd probably be quite happy with that. Just maybe scraping, but as Scott said, they're being dragged into the relegation battle. Newcastle, they need something. They don't want Bruce there. He's got to go. Burnley, I hope for that. I live there. Norwich, love to see them stay up because I always like to see the promoted team stay up. Palace, I think, could be dragged in, definitely into the bottom 3 this season, which probably means they'll finish in Europe. Yeah, my predictions are useless. Bottom 3, yeah, Watford, well, will they have the same manager at the end of the season? Brentford, I'm afraid, I don't think that, just having Ivan Toney will keep them up. They probably need to do a little bit more than that. And Brighton, is it their turn to go down? So that's what we think. Come back at the end of the season in 9 months' time. We'll have a look and we'll let you know. Thanks for joining us. Been a long one tonight, as my missus would say. I wish. But thanks for joining us. That's what we think. We will see. It kicks off this Friday. It kicks off Friday. And I think it's Arsenal-Brentford. Come on, Brentford. But it's back.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
It is back. I'm popping over now, 9:30, to have a chat with Charlie, the Man City fan, and Ray, the Man City fan. I'm going to enjoy that. Oh, yes. Talking about, believe it or not, the fact that we're now champions of England. So, Dugout Daily TV channel. YouTube it. Great channel. Charlie's a great lad. He's 14, but he knows his stuff. Ray is brilliant. He's absolutely lovely guy. And then we will be back tomorrow. And what are we going to be back with tomorrow? Funny you should ask that. Chris, what are you going to be back with tomorrow? I knew you were interested. We're going to be back with this gentleman, Rob Tanner. He used to be Leicester Mercury's chief Leicester City correspondent. He now works for The Athletic. And that's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Rob is going to be with us. And I'm going to be asking him one or two questions. Obviously about his history of supporting Leicester and covering it. But also a few transfer rumours I might just be throwing in there. We will see. He's on the ball, is Rob. He knows his stuff. Lovely, lovely guy. 7 o'clock tomorrow, and it's on Leicester Till I Die YouTube channel. And as Scott says there, indeed, everybody, please subscribe. We're so close to the 1,000. It is. I can feel it. I can feel it. So get subscribing. And if you want to catch us on, listen back on this one, you can do. If you want to listen rather than look at my lovely mug, we are on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google, Podcast Addict, Anchor, just to name but 6. And I'm sure there's a lot more that we are on as well that we don't even know. Did I put 7 a.m. up? Did I say 7 a.m.? You've got me wondering now, Scott. Let's have a look. No, it's 7 p.m. Or did I say 7 a.m.? Hey, I'm up early in the morning. Thanks very much, guys. See you in an hour. We're over on Dugout Daily TV channel on YouTube. Or see you tomorrow at 7 with Rob Tanner. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Stay safe. And I can't wait for Saturday.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
To an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.